Right. Okay, let's get it. So a Apex Ultimate tier list today. We'll start with, well, we'll just go through the list of every legend in kind of order. So this tier list is a little bit weird. So it's got the mobile ones in them as well. So you've got these two here. Now I'm not too switched on with the mobile one, and also Vantage's Sniper's Mark is not in here as well. So we're going to use this one as Sniper's Mark, and this one will just be obsolete, I think. Right. So Bloodhound's Beast of the Hunt. Gotta be A tier, I think. We're gonna put it in A tier. The speed boost and the heat vision is damn good. It's OP. I'd probably say S tier if it wasn't so loud. In all honesty, yeah, I'm gonna put it S tier. A tier, sorry, A tier, A tier, A tier. Right, Gibby's Defensive Bombardment. I'm gonna put in A tier as well, I think. It's good on damage. And be used defensively and offensively. I don't think just because Gibby's less used that his ultimate is any worse. I think it's still A tier. But it's not completely overpowered, so I'm happy with that. Yeah. Next is Lifeline's Care Package. I'm going to put that D tier. I think it's pretty pointless, I think. And it's loud, and it's literally a beacon to get pushed on. 9 times out of 10 you can find better loot or develop better loot. It can become clutch in certain situations, say if you've just respawned back in or something like that, but very situational. I wouldn't put it any higher than D, in my opinion. Pathfinder zipline gun. I'm gonna go B tier, I think. Can be really useful to get into certain situations. But if you get caught out with it, you can get beamed. Even if your movement on it isn't too bad, you can get beamed off it quite easily. In all honesty, it's quite easy to track. So yeah, it's like a middle of the pack. I think it can be useful in certain situations. But Wraith's Dimensional Rift kind of has to be. It's really useful. You can use many angles with it. It's back and forth. You can put like kind of kidnap enemies almost. You can reposition for a revive, things like that. It's severely useful, severely powerful, and yeah, belongs there. Bangalore's Rolling Thunder. I'm gonna put B tier. It's very good for defensive play. It can affect your teammates and stun them, so I'm going to put it in B tier. Doesn't deal massive damage like the defensive bombardment, so it has to be lower. And the fact that it affects your teammates as well, if used incorrectly, it's going to have to stay in B tier. Core 6 Nox Gas. I'm going to have to put in A tier. I mean, it's good damage, good distance. You can throw it quite a far distance. And the enemies, if they're in it, mate, it's hard to see through, I think, anyways. Yeah, no, A tier. Quite an easy one for me. Mirage's Life of the Party. Gonna have to stay there, I think. It can sometimes catch people out. Like, for a brief second. It can sometimes be used really well in, like, lower level lobbies. Higher level, they all know how to see through it, almost. Octane's Launchpad. B tier. I think. Yeah, B tier. Good way to close distance. No longer S tier like it was a few seasons ago. As they've made it louder. So yeah, I think it's a really good way to close distance, but because it is so loud, everyone knows what's happening. Everyone knows. And they can kind of prepare for it. Depending on how you use it again, obviously. But I'm gonna say B tier. Watson's Interception Pylon. I'm gonna put in B tier. Very useful if used correctly. but it is easily destroyed and very hard to hide. But then again, if you use it correctly, good man, I like it. Crypto's EMP. This is tricky for me. I don't think it deserves to be in C tier. The only reason that I put it in C tier is the skill gap. If you get this thing off, it can be a great entry to fights and things like that. But then again, you have the high skill gap and probably quite a lot of team chemistry as well in the way that you do it. So it's a if you get it off sort of situation. It's B. Revenant's Death Totem used to be really good. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It's loud, it attracts attention quite considerably, but it can be useful to make pushes, weaken a team and things like that. If used if used correctly. But it's not. I'd say it's not completely consistent. So I'd put it in C. Loba's Black Market Boutique. B tier. Endgame. Very, very useful. Very useful. On the bigger maps where loot's more widespread, it would probably struggle, in my opinion, with the range of it. But on places like Kings Canyon and Olympus, things like that, very, very useful tool. Ramparts Mobile Minigun, aka Sheila. Again, depending on the user, a good user, B tier. Or user with the way you can get easily caught out with slow strafe speed and stuff, I'd probably put it down C tier. But the fact that the damage and her whole team can kind of use it if she mounts it, yeah, B tier. Again, I'm just putting these if used correctly. Basically, if used correctly by an above average level player, I'd say B tier. Horizon's Black Hole was definitely there, without a doubt. But now that it's easier to destroy, I put an A tier. Perfect entry for fights. You can deal stupid damage if you lob grenades in there as well. Paired with grenades, I'd still be dithering on the edge of S tier. But because it's easy to destroy now, I'd probably put A tier. Uses Motherload. It can be a good pairing with the scans inside. If you were to put this over the top of a building, everyone in that building would be scanned. Useful. Can be wasted quite easily. But just a all-round good ultimate, I'm not gonna lie. Valk's Skyward Dive easily was S tier at one point. Well, before the nerfs this season. Easily was S tier. Same with Horizon's Black Hole. But even with the nerfs, I'm still going to put it at A. It's a very good way of getting around the maps, rotating, getting out of trouble. Yeah, it has to go in A tier. It's still very, very, very useful. Sears Exhibit. I'm going to put it in A. I'm going to put in A. I wouldn't say it's too overpowered, purely because it's basically a beacon to get third partied. It would be S tier, I think, if it wasn't so obvious. Like maybe if the lines were like a little bit more like transparent or something like that. Like it wasn't as easy to spot, but the fact that it's basically just a big light up beacon, yeah, no, it has to be A tier. It's still, again, when you're in the fight, unreal. Such a good ultimate. But yeah, purely for that reason, I'm going to put it in A. Ass's Phase Breach. I'm going to put A. Really easy to aim. Really good to get on top of a team quick. If it was two-way, it'd be S tier. In my opinion. It's just strong, man. It's just really strong. If anything, I'd almost prefer this over Wraiths, because I can't really use Wraiths that well. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Bad Maggie's Wrecking Ball. B tier. Now she does nullify Gibby's dome, which is sick. It's super cool. Good entry. Really good way for teams to get up close. But it's just so loud, man. Again, like, Apex is such a third-party heavy game. It being that loud it's so easy for teams to get brought to attention. That. Newcastle's castle wall. A tier. Good distance on the jump. Man can jump. The walls have good health. Obviously they're electrified as well. I just think it's very useful. I really do. Newcastle is easily an S tier legend right now. And yeah, this is a good ultimate. Hey, a lot of the ultimates very good, man. These just need some love. So bad. They need to do something to bring them up into here. I don't think any ultimate right now is severely overpowered though. I think they've dealt with the two that were an issue with these two right here. And we're going to use this as Sniper's Mark for Vantage. I'm going to use it A. The fact that like the damage multiplies every consecutive hit, really good. The fact that it marks for the teams, very useful. It's quite hard because I haven't put a lot of time into Vantage right now, so I can't figure it out fully. But this is what we're going to run it off, I think. I'm happy with that. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think any should be S tier. Or if I've been too harsh on Mirage and Lifeline. I don't think I have, but we'll see. And also leave in the comments what you want next tier-wise. Fully appreciate that. I stream Tuesday, Thursdays, and 1 or 2 days on the weekend. Yeah. Until next time.